Morning plant fans. Crikey, I'm tired this morning. Why do all the destinations you want to go to always leave so horribly early? Today I'm off to Greece, to Mount Olympus, to finally lay eyes on the king of the gezzes, Jankaea heldreichii. It only grows on Mount Olympus. Its throne. So super excited about this. I wanted to see this for years. Also up there is Saxifraga sempervivum. Another Anglarius Saxifraga grizzbacchii, probably the king of the Anglarius Saxifraga. Also Omphalodes luciliae.
Luciliae. I don't know why I kept calling it Luciali.
Omphalodes luciliae, if I can find it. Right at the top is Saxifraga spruneri, but I'm supposed to break that journey up with a stay at the hostel, but the hostel's full. So it's going to be a very, very long day in very, very hot conditions. So wish me luck. I'm hoping this tightness is going to subside. So see you all in Greece. Let's go.
So yes, a flight from London across Europe to Thessaloniki Airport in Greece. And actually Olympus is not very far from Thessaloniki, about an hour and a half, traffic dependent. There's some roadworks there now, so it takes a while, and there's always traffic everywhere these days. Anyway, Olympus is only about 11 kilometres from the sea, and you're driving along and suddenly you become aware of this bulge.
You can't see it very well, but around about here, can you see it? There's a big block of mountain, and that is Mount Olympus. It kind of stands on its own in the middle of a big flat area. It's kind of shrouded in cloud at the moment. The gods have probably covered themselves up. I mean, I guess they're probably talking about Federer and Shania Twain, I guess. But that is it. That's where we're headed.
Well, you're driving along in Greece in the middle of June, and it's pretty hot, and you're starting to think, are there going to be any nice early Alpines in this hot Mediterranean landscape? But you've been reliably informed there are, so you keep going. You arrive at the lovely, sleepy little town of Litochoro, and you check into your room.
Wow, look at this cute little room. I mean, the room's alright, but look at this view. There's the sea down there. Now, isn't this a nice place to sit and write your diary?
A funny little town. Of course, I was absolutely itching to get out and see some plants, so off I went.
Apparently, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'm having a quick jaunt down by the river up into the mouth of the Mount Olympus area. We'll see what we can find. It's already beautiful. It's really beautiful weather here. I'm walking through sort of walnut groves. It's quite gorgeous. I've got my Greek salad ingredients. I've got some beer. So I'm all set for whatever happens now. Let's go. Is that not just the most idyllic river you've ever seen in your life? And look, little taverna's right by it. How wonderful. Don't think I've ever seen water so clear. That's water. Look. It's crystal clear.
Before too long, I was in Mediterranean woodlands, and I'd walked up above Litochoro and looking out over the beautiful, peaceful, calm Aegean Sea. Isn't that wonderful? A few things around still. This asphodolini, look at that lovely acrid yellow. A rather messy burnt-off campanula, and then this intriguing beauty.
That's not really my thing, but look at this. Beautiful arbutus, I think, bark. Look at it, it's absolutely stunning. Sort of pistachio covered, and that rich chestnutty brown. Looks like a big, lovely big chocolate sweet. Tasty. It's quite fascinating when you see it growing amongst other trees. I mean, look at that colour. It's like it's like a deer or a human. I mean, look at that. It looks like a bicep, doesn't it? And when you see it wrapped around another tree, it's kind of really weird. Like a sort of golem-y creature. Enchanted, isn't it?
As the sun was going down, I got back to Litochoro, and that quiet, sleepy little town was starting to liven up, and it was full of wonderful eateries. Look at all those delicious looking pastries. A very good outdoor walking shop with my favourite brand of shoes as their mat. And then you remember that lovely peaceful little bit of river and that lovely quiet taverna we saw earlier? Look at what it turns into! Rock and roll.
I'm sorry here, my camera's not really picking up night vision very well, so I'm a bit blurry, but it is me. See? Everyone here is incredibly friendly. I've never been anywhere like it. People are so nice. I went to buy some new socks because they had lovely socks at the sports shop. and I had a little box of Greek pastries with me, and she said, "Oh, what are those?" And I said, "Oh, they're baklava." And she went, "Oh, have some chocolate as well." So she gave me a bar of chocolate. Everyone here is so lovely. What a lovely place. And anyway, I've got my Greek salad, I've got my beer. Cheers, everyone. Early night, good old long walk tomorrow. I don't know what cheers is in Greek. Stavros. Morning, plant fans. Well, we're going to start off with a light stroll by the river below the monastery of St. Dionysius. Apparently this is one of the best sites for Jankaea heldreichii, which is an Olympic endemic, and basically one of the reasons I've come here for. So fingers crossed we'll see it. Let's go. Bloody cobwebs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jankaea heldreichii, the king of the European gesneriads. Now, I've searched high and low to find a flower. This is the only one I could find. Sadly, I'm past the best display this year. What makes it so wonderful? Is it these little lavender, lilac-coloured flowers with the white centre and the black anthers? Is it these beautiful rosettes with these leaves thickly set with these silky hairs that give a sort of silvery appearance and golden at the edge? Is it the fact that it only resides on Mount Olympus? Who knows? All I know is that it's absolutely sublime and it's an honour to be in its presence. After years and years of wanting to see it, I'm finally here. It's an extremely rare plant in the wild. It's also extremely rare in cultivation. The only plant I've ever seen for sale was the one I bought from Mike Smith at Alpine many years ago. Anyway, it's an absolute beauty. I would kiss it, but I can't get close enough, so... Jankaea heldreichii.
Well, as they say, what goes up must come down. And as I sat having my lunch, reflecting on the wonderful Jankaea, it reminded me of my trip to Greece earlier that year with Litochoro when we looked at Ramonda cervica.
Here I am at a top secret location in northern Greece, basking in the beauty of Ramonda cervica. Now, you may think that the Pyrenees are the centre of distribution for the gesneriads, probably because of the profusion and beauty of its best known member, Ramonda myconi, but that's not the case. Now, the king of gezzes, the Jankaea, sits on his throne on Mount Olympus.
Just about in northern Greece and up through those other Balkan countries, we have Ramonda cervica. We have
Herbaria rhodopensis in its arguable forms around this area too, and also the other species of Ramonda, the Nephaliae, is also around here. So actually, the Pyrenees is the outlier, and this is the centre for gezzes.
I should add, of course, that these are European gesneriads because they are an international family. And you know what? The thing is, you don't realise some of these things until you actually physically go there. You drive past where the Jankaea lives, you go and see Ramonda cervica, and then you're like, hold on a minute, these things are all here. The other one is over there. Funny, isn't it? Anyway, okay, let's have a look at the Ramonda distribution over in this part of the world again. Cervica and Nephaliae. Now, as you can see, they do grow together in Serbia, in a couple of places only, and apparently they produce hybrids, and that is the Jelasnica Gorge of the Jelasnica River and the Nisava Gorge of the Nisava River. The Herbaria used to be two species, Ferdinandi coburgi, but now just one, Rhodopensis. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. Let's pull up that distribution map again. Look at them all in that line, the same latitude-ish. Isn't that really, really curious? Another question, why is there nothing in central Italy, the Abruzzo, the Apennine there? Don't know. Remember this image because we will come back to it later. Okay, a little bit more about our European gesneriads. They are remnants of the pre-glacial tertiary tropical and subtropical flora of Europe and are the rarest of what is known as resurrection plants in the northern hemisphere. Lots of the Jankaea I saw were like this, and anyone that's grown any European members of this family will know the fear you get when one day you come out to see your prize Ramonda to find it shriveled into a ball of dust, and then desperately water, and come back in an hour to find it looking like new. This is because they are able to fall into anabiosis, which is a temporary state of suspended animation when thermally stressed. They shrivel up and release various acids and enzymes to protect themselves during dry periods, and then the permanent presence of other substances allows rapid resumption of photosynthesis upon rehydration. Fantastic stuff. Incredibly interesting. These things have been around for God knows how many years. And here we are looking at them on Mount Olympus.
The Olympic toad here. Where to, mate? He's a pretty boy then.
Also by the riverside in the humid mist, delicate little Pinguicula hirtiflora, sometimes said to be a subspecies of crystallina, but that one grows on acidic rock, this one grows on limestone. Pinguicula in Latin or Greek or something means little greasy one, which I think is slightly unfair because this is such a little feminine plant. But you can see why. These greasy little leaves produce a substance which attracts and then digests insects. She's ferocious. Don't let her graceful, delicate charm lull you into a false sense of security. In these enchanted woods we also found the weird and wonderful little Monotropa hypophytis, which is saprophytic. It has no chlorophyll and obtains its energy from the forest floor fungi which are connected to the tree's roots, allowing them to grow in deep shade. I also found this lovely red helleborine, Cepalanthera rubra, and I thought these were fantastic specimens until I was driving onto the next site, and by the roadside this absolute beauty grabbed me and made me stop and look at the size of it. It's so vibrant, the colour's amazing, it's big, it's bold, it's beautiful. I've never seen one like it and I never will do again. What an absolute stunner. Anyway, I went further up and here's a scene that's kind of quite common in Greece and sort of central Mediterranean, European countries like it. Goats on the road. Wonderful. Now I promised you the king of the Inglaria saxifraga, Ferderici Augusti, subspecies Grisbackia, and I found it. Sadly, long since out of flower. Here's what it looks like when it's in flower. Isn't it a beauty? You know, you expect a plant like this to be like in some sort of magical situation in the rock face or anything, but it was just growing by the path. Kind of just like any other plant. Anyway, beautiful lily that grows on Mount Olympus I found that day, but sadly not in flower. But a few hundred metres down, back in Litochoro, I was speaking to the really friendly girl at the hotel, and I was saying I was looking for this thing, it wasn't in flower, and she went, "Oh, you mean this?" So she took me around the corner and she showed me it. Look at this absolute beauty. Isn't that amazing, the difference that altitude makes? A few hundred metres lower down, and it's in flower. Gorgeous, gorgeous thing. A few of the things I saw that day, this orchid, Dactylorhiza saxifera, a new one for me. Another orchid, couldn't identify it, I don't know what it was. And look at this beauty.
Oh, little chap.
Now I feel really, really bad doing this after seeing that bit of wildlife, but I just love octopus, it's so tasty, and I feel really bad about eating it sometimes. Sorry.
Now I know what you're all thinking. You've dragged us all the way here to Greece to show us these fancy plants. All you've shown us so far is some king of something or other with one flower on it. You've shown us some king of some other saxifragas with no flowers whatsoever on. A toad, some sheep or goats or whatever they were, and some octopus that you're eating. You stated Alpine jaws in the lap of the gods. Where are they all? Well, I was thinking exactly the same thing myself, but the next day, tomorrow, we go a lot higher and it's absolutely ram-packed with flowers. So please stick with it. Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and see you in part 2.